Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Ung Studio, and today we're going to be designing and making a custom wood desk organizer with an integrated LED light. Now I know you might be wondering, Tim, we made a wood desk organizer a few weeks ago that looked like a rainbow. It came out pretty cool, so why are we making another one all of a sudden? Well, when I started using that wood desk organizer in my new home office setup, I realized that because of where it's located and because I didn't have an actual light that I was using at my desk, I wanted to make something else that would achieve two things. The first was to give me more space to store all of the things that I usually have on my desk. That original wood desk organizer that I made was a little bit too small to fit all of the little objects that I have everywhere. So that was the first part of it. The second part of it is that my desk is located in a dark corner. So I wanted to make sure that I could have some lights set up in it and I can turn those lights on a dark, cloudy day so that I don't hurt my eyes by looking at my screen in the dark all the time. So that was the second part. When you combine these two things together, that's the project that we're going to make today. So before we jump into the design and 3D model of this project, please remember to support this channel by liking this video and subscribing for more like it. Now with that, let me tell you more about the design through this 3D model that I created. Here's a 3D model of the custom desk organizer and integrated LED light that I developed in a software called Rhinoceros. As I revolve around this 3D model, you can see how simple the design of it is, and you might be thinking to yourself that it's going to be fast to laser cut and assemble this project. However, it's actually going to be quite difficult, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later in this video. First, I just wanted to mention that the overall width of this project is 16 inches and the overall height to the top of the light fixture portion up here is going to be 18 inches from the finished surface of my desk. At the very top here, I'll start by telling you a little bit more about how the lighting portion of it is going to be created and how I'm going to diffuse the light. Here at the side panel, you can see that there's this little slot here with a milky white color. That milky white color is actually going to be a piece of frosted acrylic. That frosted acrylic is there to diffuse the amount of light coming out of the LED light strip that I'm going to be installing on the interior surfaces, which you can see here. That LED light strip will be adhered to all of these surfaces and it'll turn the corners and come back around. That should be enough light for me to illuminate my working surface whenever I'm using my office desk. The other thing I wanted to mention is that the LED light strip that I have actually has a control that allows me to dim the light and brighten it whenever I want to. The overall dimensions up here is going to be 16 inches wide and it's going to be about an inch tall, including that area for that frosted acrylic to be inserted. That frosted acrylic will need to go through the entire light fixture, so I actually included this area here that will allow that frosted acrylic to be inserted, glide along all of that surface, and make it through to the opposite end of that top portion of this light fixture. In terms of the wires that provide power to the LED light strip, I'm actually going to be installing it here up the trunk of this structural portion that holds up the entire light fixture area of this product. This portion here has 3 layers of plywood sandwiched together. The center layers leave a void for the wire to travel all the way down, and I'm actually going to include a small area for that wire to come out the side so that it can be plugged in. Now let's talk about how this product will be constructed. For the exterior pieces here that go around the entire perimeter of the product, I'll have finger joints where I'm going to use a little bit of wood glue to ensure that they're locked into place and held together firmly. For all of the dividers here, I'm going to include a slot in the face of the pieces on the exterior, and I'm also going to include joints on the divider pieces so that they can slot in and be glued in place. In terms of a unique area for this product, I'm actually going to be including for this center divider a longer joint so that it can actually go through all 3 layers of plywood and hold them all together when I'm ready to install it. That means that I need to construct this physically at the very top, and then I need to build down to the bottom, and make sure that this divider makes it into place before the rest of this bottom portion is actually installed. This entire project is about sandwiching the plywood panels and creating structural stability through that technique. Now let me show you all of the pieces that are going to be laser cut for this product. In order to get all of the pieces that I need for this project, I'm going to use a total of 7 full-size sheets of plywood in my Glowforge Laser Cutter. Here are what the pieces look like on each of the sheets. I've divided them into different sections because this is the area that I'll need per sheet. You can see here that all of the sheets were efficiently laid out with the pieces, and I also separated that one piece of frosted acrylic, which is essentially a rectangle that'll be pushed into place. So that's my design and 3D model of the custom desk organizer with an integrated LED light. For the next step of this project, I'll be finishing all of the sheets of plywood, then putting it into my Glowforge laser cutter, laser cutting all of the pieces, assembling them, and then I'll show you what the final product looks like. Before we jump into that next step, please remember to support this channel by liking this video and subscribing for more like it. Now let me show you my process of making this product. So that's how I designed and made this custom desk organizer with an integrated LED light. This was a really fun project to work on, and one of the things that I didn't expect to take such a long time was actually finishing all of the wood before I laser cut it. I went through and I stained every piece, and then I sealed it when it was dry. That actually made the process take a long time because I tried to get it to be perfect before I laser cut any of the pieces that came together here. In the future, I would reverse that process and I would actually laser cut all of these pieces and then go through and sand down all of the scorch marks that come from the laser cutter itself, and then I would go through, stain everything, and seal it the way that you should. I would also change the product that I used because I used a varnish on the outside here that was actually a really thick coat, and it messed up some of the laser cutting settings that I was used to using for cutting any plywood at 1/8 of an inch. Overall though, this project took about 4 days, and that's including the amount of time that it took in between every coat and waiting for everything to dry. The assembly process was really tricky. It was the first time I ever created something like this and used an integrated light strip that went into the top up here and was adhered to the interior surfaces of all of the plywood up here. The one thing I also like about this project is that you can dim the light. So this is the lowest setting here, and then this is the highest setting here. I'm excited to use this desk organizer in my home office. Let me know what you think about the design and how this product came out in the comment section below. And remember to support this channel by liking this video and subscribing for more like it.